I'm Kim Paul, and I have been coming to Grace for about 7, 8 years, and I'm a single mom of a 3.5-year-old daughter, Amanda. To try to get to church on a Sunday morning can be just really crazy. Amanda and I take the first service and go to our respective Sunday schools. And then we hustle in on the second service and we take our seats in the pews and right here, begin our worship. Some Sundays are harder than others. A couple weeks ago, I came in and I was just feeling a little bit discouraged. No, a lot discouraged. I was feeling discouraged about as a single parent, just juggling it all, discouraged about my work, discouraged just about how hard things kind of felt and can feel sometimes. So I arrived and I really started out with this feeling of a little bit of overwhelming discouragement and I was here and as the sermon progressed, Pastor John was talking about finances, but really finances from a spiritual perspective. I became more and more encouraged throughout the sermon. But one of the parts of the presentation that morning was a videotape of a young couple who had some really tough situations and how the Lord had provided for them financially in really specific ways. And I had a couple thoughts while that was going on. I thought, what about all the poor people? I mean, does God provide for them in those specific ways? And what about me? That stuff never happens to me. I mean, I never get a $300 check when I have a $300 bill or whatever. That just didn't seem like something that really ever happened to me. On Sunday morning, although I left really encouraged, I still didn't really have that belief that that stuff ever happens to me. A couple days later, I got a package in the mail for me and Amanda, and it was from who Amanda calls Auntie Julia, and it contained 3 beautiful summer dresses and a card. And I opened the card, and there was a $300 check. And Julia had written a note, and it said, "I know you need a washer, a dryer, and a dishwasher, and I wish I could buy you a whole one, but here's $100 for each." And I just sat there and cried. I thought, the Lord really does care about my details. And I had forgotten that. One thing that it made me think of also is that it has happened to me before. I just forgot. So it reminded me to remember the times that the Lord really has provided for the specific details. I could name numerous times when other checks did come through, or when people just provided, or even when Grace Chapel has provided for me. And I had forgotten those when I was kind of sitting in the pew in my self-pity. The truth is, I don't know what God has for my future. I don't know if my job is going to get better. I don't know if I'm ever going to have a husband again. I don't know, the details of my future. But the key that I was encouraged to remember is that God cares about my present and God cares about my future, and that I can trust Him with that future and not my own knowledge.